check your battery real quick just to make sure you're... I'm good.
All good.
Looks like it's showing up on the phone.
Okay. All right, stand by. Here we go.
The screen here, I can't see anything. Just went to sleep now. Yeah, we don't have the screen here at all.
No screen.
I got the YouTube stream here. I'll just look at that.
All right, sweet.
It's going to be on camera though. Well, hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. Thank you for joining us. My name is Devin Knight. I'm the president of Pragmatic Works Training. We're so happy to have you here today to talk a little bit about our upcoming Learn with the Nerds session that is going to be, I'm going to look over here for a moment, September 18th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So adjust your proper time zone there. Again, thank you for joining us. I know we're a bit late starting here, a little technical difficulties. But our session that we're going to have next Thursday, again, September 18th, I'm going to say that like 20 times, is called Revolutionize Your Flow with AI Builder and Generative Prompting. I am joined here by Andrew Perez.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let me look at my script here. Yes, my name is indeed Andrew Perez.
Correct.
Thank you all
you
so
got it
much
right.
for, yeah.
That's the
I'm so proud of myself.
Toughest question I have for you today, so I'm glad you got that one right. But Andrew, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about the session that you have for us next week?
Sure, absolutely. So once again, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us and for your patience with a couple of technical difficulties we had here. But with that said, yeah, I am really excited for this upcoming session. We're going to be playing around with a tool that has probably taken up quite a bit of my time here. It's a lot of fun to play around with. It's called Generative Prompting. So these are custom prompts that can be passed into AI Builder and used in many different places in the Power Platform. The place we're going to focus on it most in this upcoming session is going to be in Power Automate. So what we're basically doing is creating actions with very standard AI prompting procedures, creating actions with our own custom inputs, custom parameters, custom outputs, and basically allowing it to do something different every time for our flows.
Very nice, very exciting. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the use cases that you might cover? Maybe bigger picture, why those use cases don't matter as much, but it's just it gives you people some idea of what we're going to look at.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to be covering two particular scenarios here that I've just kind of picked out of the random hat in my mind. One of them being sort of focused on like resume building and text analysis, and the other one being a little bit more data-centric and data-focused. But as Devin mentioned earlier, the use cases themselves really aren't the important thing that we want you to sort of take away from this event, as much as the functionality of the tool. Because I am really kind of just dipping my toes in the water with what we're getting with these scenarios. This is, I've heard this tool referred to as a kind of Swiss Army knife, so it can be used in so many different given scenarios. I kind of want out of this session for you to get your, your mind juices flowing, get your imaginative juices flowing and thinking, I would love to see if it could do maybe this for me, right? That's the goal for that session there.
Yeah, so you're giving more the bigger picture of how, well, while you might have some use cases, you're showing more the bigger picture of how you can use generative prompting to solve a wide variety of problems, not just the specific use cases you picked out.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't see the questions, so don't worry about putting them on the screen. But next question I have for you is, what do people need to have to prepare for the event? Meaning prerequisites. Sure. You can kind of take this a couple different ways. Prerequisites as far as the licensing that they need to have, but also from a skill set, like knowledge base, what should they know ahead of time before joining?
Yeah, that's probably about the most important question here. So you will definitely require Power Automate. You will need Power Automate. A standard license should do. A premium license is kind of recommended for another prerequisite that I'm about to mention a little bit later on. There's going to be some student files that we will be working with that will be found in the description of the event. And I'll be referencing it once we do actually get to the Learn with the Nerds event several times, so you'll be able to find it in the description there. It's two very, very small files that we're just using for the sake of, again, our scenarios. You know, one of them I mentioned was resume building. You'll need a resume to work with, right? So it's just meant to save you some time in the event. You'll require access to Microsoft Forms, which is a very basic thing to be able to get. That is one of the things we'll be using in one of our scenarios. And the big sort of prereq that I want to make sure everybody is aware of is because this is using generative AI, you will require AI credits. Now, AI credits, certain amounts will come with each license that you have with the Power Platform, and certain capacity upgrades can be bought as well. But what we are doing in the event does sort of consume some AI credits here. So if that's something that I want to be careful of, that is okay. Like I said, the scenario of this event is not really all that important. If you're just going to, you know, sit and watch and reserve your AI credits for when you're building something for yourself, that is absolutely a valid way to enjoy the event. But those are the sort of hard prerequisites. The skill side prerequisites, I am going to assume a kind of baseline understanding of Power Automate. At the very least, that you've touched the program and made one or two flows before. We're not going to get into anything too terribly extensive. And one of the great things about generative prompting is it's something you can jump into at pretty much any skill set. It doesn't require a lot of baseline knowledge to build off of. I'm just not going to be going too much into, you know, what are triggers, what are actions, the things that make up a Power Automate flow. So that's about all that's going to be assumed. You should still be able to follow along, however, as a beginner in this program.
Okay, so when you talked about the software prerequisite, they need these AI credits, right? Mm-hmm. And you mentioned, I think you kind of got alluded to it, but those AI credits are really shared across the entire organization. So it's Correct. All the licensing that you have, everyone's using those same AI credits. Of course, you know, be careful with that. This is a class. It's something that, you know, if you go crazy with it, you could eat them up pretty quickly. Yeah. But no, that's good to know. And then so a baseline knowledge of some of the basics of Power Automate, you're assuming that knowledge is already there. By the way, we have loads of other Learn with the Nerds Power Automate sessions that you can go to if you would like to get some of those basics down, if that's something that's totally new to you at this point. Next question I have for you
Sure.
is, what will those attending leave with, that meaning like an understanding or a skill set that they didn't have before? What will they gain from attending this session?
Well, like I said, this session is going to, what you get out of it is going to be entirely based on your imagination. So you'll see when we start actually playing around with the tool that it doesn't require much more skill than you have prompting your basic ChatGPT, right? To ask you to summarize an essay or do something along those lines. So the skill set required is really low level, but the use cases are very broad and varied. You know, I want you to come out of this, the reason they're so general, I want you to come out of this with the idea, with some kind of idea of like, well, you know, I've been wanting to do something about this for a while. Now I feel like this tool is the thing that can help me out, right? I want you to feel, you know, comfortable being able to play around with it, coming up with scenarios. That's sort of what I'm hoping everybody walks out of here with, is sort of the confidence to apply this in their own workspace.
Yeah, so you mentioned, you know, generative AI tools are really found in a lot of different places now, mm-hmm. even just within Microsoft. It's in just about every tool that they have. So why would you use Power Automate to leverage some of this generative AI? What's the benefit of using Power Automate? What does Power Automate give you that you couldn't just do with like Copilot Chat kind of thing? Right.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. And I would say the answer to it is really the same general reasons I would give to anybody else on why to use Power Automate. Number one, and perhaps the most obvious because it's in the name of the program, is the automation, right? You use Copilot Chat, that still requires you to go and talk to Copilot and tell it every single time that you want to do something, whereas what we are going to create can absolutely run in the background for a wide range of scenarios. So Power Automate is meant to kind of remove a lot of the tedium by integrating this kind of generative AI and decision making inside of Power Automate. we can have, again, all of that running in the background so that we don't have to worry about re-prompting it. That's another reason that I would add on, actually. These prompts get reused every single time, right? So your results, as much as generative AI can be, are replicable. It's always going to be the same prompt that is fed to the same thing, whereas you go into Copilot, you might have to ask it the same thing, you know, over and over and over again each week. The other reason that I would say is the integration with other services, right? Power Automate has connectors to hundreds upon hundreds, probably close to getting thousands now. I think it's closer to 2,000 now of other business applications that are consistently in use. So what you can do is automate the process to the point that your AI is now the thing that is using those applications to communicate. So we actually have a use case here that we use our generative prompting for. We use that here at Pragmatic Works. Some of you who interact with our ODL courses may see our on-demand learning. Yeah, I'm so inside the lingo here, but you got to be part of Cool Kids Club to understand.
Use the acronyms,
yeah. Those of you who have taken our on-demand learning courses may have seen that there are suggestions that are made for other courses you could take afterward, you know, where to go in your learning path. Well, that generative prompting is actually being used in the background. It's analyzing all the data of what you are doing. It was very simple and easy to make and easily implemented into our own systems that we use here.
Yeah, so the idea with our own internal use of it is you complete a course or you're working on a course, you're making good progress on it. What is the next course in our on-demand learning platform that we would recommend? So we give you recommendations on the following courses, and it's all kind of generative AI written emails that are sent back out. So they're never the same email. There's always some non-deterministic behavior. You'll hear that phrase a lot when it comes to working with generative AI tools. Non-deterministic meaning that there's on purpose inconsistencies with it, and that it's going to return different results. So final thing for here, I don't know if it's so much a question, but really more just how to register. So if you're interested in the upcoming event, again, it's called I'm looking over here, Revolutionize Your Flow with AI Builder and Generative Prompting. The event's going to be on September 18th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, so adjust properly to your time zone. As always, these are recorded, but you can register. There's going to be a QR code hopefully on the screen here in just a moment where you can find how to register for the event. We hope to see you there. Let's leave that on there for a moment as well, but I don't know if you're there or not. I think it's next to me. Hold on. I don't know.
Wait. There we go.
But Andrew, sign us off here. Anything else that you want to share with folks before we sign off and they can see you next week in the event?
Well, nothing in particular. I think we've covered all the groundwork. A lot of it's going to be in the event itself. I definitely look forward to seeing everybody there. I think this will be a really fun event to play around with. And again, it's pretty easy and beginner level to jump in with, so anybody can go ahead and join us there. I look forward to seeing everybody on September 18th.
And then we'll have a live Q&A right after. Thank you so much, Andrew.
That as well, that's right.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. And thanks for hanging in there with us and for a little delayed start, but we will see you next Thursday. Thanks a lot.